talked to you yesterday,
What's up?
but
We
here's
sure
a
did.
question that I thought about afterwards.
Okay.
Do you think, and don't take this the wrong way, do you think you're the best fighter in UFC history that doesn't have a title on his resume? You're on the list, without
Shoot.
question, but are you the best?
Yeah, I think I'm on the list, but it's hard for me to like think that of myself. So my vote would maybe go to living legend Cowboy Cerrone. But once again, if I'm thrown out there, there's always room for debate. But so maybe if I was an outsider, I would look at it and think of myself. But I can't really think of myself like
I
that.
guess I just look at like the guys you've
Yeah.
lost to.
I like it. I mean, I like it. I'm not going to argue with it. That's for sure. But like just asking me, like I'm not an answer. Like my first thing comes to mind is probably Cowboy, but I like when people say it's me too.
I mean, as far as you're concerned, is it just a matter of time before you do have a title around your waist, and it's just the things got to line up the right way, and it just hasn't lined up the right way just yet?
That's hard to say because things have lined up before, and you can't say it's the right way or wrong way. Like there's no order in this sport. There's no like you don't deserve anything. You're not entitled for anything. You know what I mean? So I believe I am very capable of it, and I do what I can do to control that desired result every day. I mean, day in, day out, Wednesdays, trying to win every position against, hungry, young, 20-year-old amateurs. Anything like that, I do what I can do. But as far as it just actually happening and some, like, romantic, like, destiny of it happening, like, that stuff only really happens when it's supposed to, I just work my hardest to accomplish that, and typically, when I work at something, it happens, get close to it, get somewhat of the result, and, and I'm still working for that. So, the work doesn't stop, but it's crazy to say in this sport, like nothing goes as planned, I mean, I planned on it the first time, I planned on the rematch, and now, it's just different, it's not this crazy like destination anymore to me,
How
know what I
important is
mean?
it for you to have kind of this mentality like that? Because I think a lot of us think of you as very well thought out, and you're very cerebral in the way you talk to us. And does that kind of thing, that sort of that calmness, play a factor in kind of the longevity of your career? And do you think?
I think
about
so.
that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think naturally your mentality just changes as you move along, and you can be younger and a little more, excitable by everything, and then once you kind of realize everything and how it goes and how you can't control it and everything is so short-lived and in the moment in the sport anyway, that's how you take it in the moment. But I definitely think it's given me longevity because I've never really looked at the past and haven't looked too far at the future. I'm always trying to like take it in the moment, and those moments are what make your your career long. Like you see me fight still at the top after 10 years, and it's not that like, oh, I had this fight and this fight every 3 months, 4 months, whatever. It's like the stuff in between that I'm taking those moments in. I'm being grateful, I'm being thankful, even for those moments. Like not a day passes when I even just pull up to the UFC PI and I like park my car, that it's kind of a nice car, and I leave like a nice house with an awesome wife and dog, and like I can be like, this is cool. Like go in there for 2 hours, I can get like a smoothie and like work out in a world-class facility, and I feel, lucky. I feel happy about it. So I think that has to do a lot with the longevity. Is like I always enjoy it. I don't do it because I have to. I do it because it's still something I really like to do, and I take gratitude in like every day. So I think that happens. That has a lot to do with just every day is separate. I don't look at it like, oh, get through this year. Every day, every practice, and then so it's just lasted this long, luckily.
Is that how? I mean, there seems like so many uncertainties just in general in the fight game, and especially right now, like as we've talked about for the flyweights, it seems like nobody can really guarantee you what's going to happen.
Yeah.
How do you have to kind of just take it day by day in order to get through all that and not let it stress you out?
That's all I can do, man. That's exactly like dealing with everything. I think when you come in, younger, you're trying to control every little thing, but you don't know how everything works. So by the time you get to my age where you do see everything, like that turns into your option. I think, and if you talk, to some guys that have been around, that's hopefully, and I think you know, rightfully their mindset, even though everyone's so different in this sport. But yeah, that's how it is. You know, the way my career's gone, the way everything's gone, that's my only choice. But that's also just kind of, I guess, fighting is kind of my life, and that's kind of my outlook in life too, you know, as well. Like, you know, I do over obsessive things, and I'm passionate about things, but at the same time, you know, just try to look at every day and look at the things I can control. So, you know, it all is relative, you know, actual real life, how I take it, and fighting, because this is what I've been doing, you know, my whole life. So yeah, and the uncertainty is always there. You know, just recently we actually got a quote about the flyweight division actually to go on, that it's staying, which even that, I look at it and it's nice to have a quote to tell you guys, and so you guys can go off of, but there's still, that doesn't, you know, it could change every day too. So everything could change. So, but like I said, that's just life, you know. Things can't change, and you kind of just adapt from there.
How much do you think you can influence in that stuff? I mean, like either your own title hopes or the flyweight division. If you go out there, do you tell yourself like, hey, we go out there and have a really great fight, or like get a really great finish? That helps out the whole division.
Always, yeah. I think that always helps. And the cool thing about that is you're trying to do that anyway. Like, I'm trying to go knock this guy out anyway in 2 minutes or whatever, and put on an exciting fight. So the fact that what I want to do and what I'm trying to do is probably going to help the flyweight division. We're on an amazing platform right now, this card being on actual ESPN. You know, no one, I don't have to tell them, oh, it's actually Plus, the app, and you have to do this or that. It's just on ESPN. People will tune in that don't even know they were going to tune in and check it out. So yeah, that's a great platform, and that stuff's huge because the media, you know, looks at that. They get the tweets out, the Instagrams out, the fans get it out, you know, UFC gets it out, and then all that plays a factor. You know, everyone plays a role in the flyweight division staying. Everyone plays a role in, you know, being on this card. Everyone plays a role in just the UFC's growth, you know, by putting on good fights every day. So it's a little bit more like micro, you know, managed once you get to like the actual division and what I'm doing. But as a whole, I mean, you're always going out there representing the sport, representing the division. I think right now, probably the flyweight, we have a little more to represent and a little more maybe microscope on us when we do fight. But it's great, you know, because we're going to do the same thing anyway, is try to put on a great fight.
Formiga was here earlier, and he told us that if Cejudo decides to defend his 35 title upon return for 25, they should make a flyweight interim title. Do you agree with Jussier?
I feel like this would be the interim title fight, so it'd be kind of hard a year from now to do another interim title fight. I think it would just have to be a vacant title or something crazy. Who knows, you know, like a tournament or something. I don't really know. You know, an interim doesn't really make a ton of sense to me right now, unless it was like this was further down the road and Cejudo decided, you know, and then this happened to be it. Because right now, looking at the rest of the division, I don't see someone, you know, unless someone can pick up some good fights and some steam to challenge. But yeah, other than that, I just, you know, I'm taking this fight as it is, and all I know, this is a #1 contender, and when Cejudo's done, this is going to be the fight that makes the most sense for him, you know, for the company, for him, for everything. It'll make the most sense. You know, I'm the only one with history of him. I'm the only one to win over him, and so that's what I'm planning on, and that seems like the logical thing. But once again, the logical thing doesn't always happen. But I'm going to do everything I can to control it.
Your former teammate Urijah Faber is coming back next.
Yeah.
What do you make of him leaving retirement?
I like it. I think it's fun. I mean, he just grappled last week. He's the California kid still. He's 40 years old. So, I mean, you know, he's still doing the same thing. He's training every day. He's living young. He just had a kid, you know, probably keeps him young and excited. And I know he's in there mixing it up with guys every day. And Faber's such a competitor. I think he realizes, hey, I'm still mixing it up every day. It's not like he, you know, had this crazy downslide at the end of his career. He won his last fight, you know, looked good, lost only really close fights anyway, heading into his later years. So I think it's fun. I mean, I know Faber, he's always just up for a challenge. Like, he's always just trying to live, you know, get something to challenge himself. And I'm sure he has a ton going outside to challenge him and keep him busy. But, like, fighting's the guy's life. He loves competing. And, still thinks he can do it. So I'm excited for it.
Do you stay in touch with him much?
Yeah, we talk. I just talked to him, just told me good luck, stuff like that. Keep in touch how adults keep in touch, that don't see each other every day or not married. Like, hey, what's going on? Stuff like that.
When you look at this fight, what are you most excited about when you step in the octagon Saturday?
I just get excited to fight every day. Like, you train every single day, and training is such like a formality to me. Like, it's necessary to be able to fight good. But, you're training with your teammates, you're training with the same guys every day. It's all about timing. I'm not trying to get tougher in there. I'm not going to get tougher. I know how to fight. I fought everybody. It's just about timing and stuff. So I just get excited to challenge myself, honestly, because it's always a challenge, and there's always that little fear and nervousness, and then like looking at that challenge and just doing it. Like, that's the fun part, then it goes layers from there, kind of like, oh, then you look at the actual, I have this opponent with this on the line. So all those add excitement, but in general, it's the same excitement, just to go in there and showcase your skill, showcase what you've done, do what you love, make the people that support you proud, make the people that sacrifice for you proud. Kind of all that stuff are the driving forces. And then the secondary things are more, oh, I have this cool opponent. Number one, thing is on the line and all that kind of stuff. Then you kind of get a little more excited for that, and that can build a little more. But in general, it's the same stuff, that motivates me every day.